when it comes to disagreeing with people and their message, what's your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
Oh, you've asked me the wrong question now, Andrew Tate. No. I heard Jerry talking about him. He was the first person I heard talking about him, and then I seen him getting interviewed by Piers Morgan, and he was very good to begin with about his early life and things like that. And he was a chess champion as well.
Grandmaster chess champion.
And he had achieved a lot in that, but there was just something iffy about him. I don't know what
was it?
He looked an angry person 24/7 when you were watching him.
Yeah.
There was no smiley face or smile at any time. Yeah. It was just, look at this world. This world's done this, but I'm going to change it. But not in a nice way, I don't think.
Yeah.
And I've came to the position, I'm thinking now, reading about him, and I know it's said, well, you can't believe everything you read. But no, I don't think he's a nice person.
And again, in today's day and age, especially the past couple of years, that's been a big topic of conversation. And, he was one of the most Googled men of, I think it was maybe 2020 or 2023, I think, right. Or maybe 2022. And, a lot of young boys would come up to me and say in the gym or in Instagram, they would message me and say, they've been inspired by him to maybe start the gym or to start a business. But obviously, as well, there's been so many things that he said, which, it has been it's been a negative. Which, when it comes to his stance on women, his stance on maybe his politics, or his view in the world, there's so much that I disagree with. When it comes to, like, if I look at his approach and his advice when it comes to training in the gym and working on yourself as a man to get stronger, I rate that. I love that, because I think it's young boys should be training and should be working on themselves to improve their confidence. And I think that's a great message, but that gets tainted and brushed over by everything else that he said. And I think some people, I'd say there's a lot of people probably in the world that maybe have questionable views, but some things you don't say aloud, and there's some things, there's a lot of views which he would share, which, in the onset, I agreed with a lot of what he said. And, as time's gone on, I think he's just saying things to get clicks. I think he's saying things to be controversial, and it's getting to the stage where, it's no longer a net negative. Sorry, it's no longer a net positive.
Can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
When's the last time you ever seen him with a smile on his face?
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Who would want to hang about with somebody like that?
For sure.
24/7.
Yeah.
No. Close the door. Bye, son.
Yeah, I love that. But I think there's so many better role models than we have in the world.
Absolutely.
I think if that's, like, I'm a big believer as well. And the reason why initially that I listened to a lot of what he said, because I fully understand, and I am someone that's gone through that as well, where I haven't felt like I had a role model. It's always great to have a role model for your parents. That's so key. Mm-hmm. But you also want to have someone else that you look up to in a different realm. Mm-hmm. And, I felt like a lot of young boys don't have that in today's day and age. And, thankfully we're starting to see a few more people emerge. I don't know if you would know them. There's a guy I look up to a lot, Chris Williamson. He actually has his own podcast. He lives in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. And just a very straight up guy. He's not extremely controversial. He's a good person. He does things to help others. He's a man. Like, he's a man. He does what he says he's going to do. You can see that he is a net positive for the world. He was on Piers Morgan.
Was he?
Piers Morgan loved him.
Must have seen him then. Must have seen him. Right.
And he's there to do good. Mm-hmm. And he's complete net positive for the world. He's someone that really inspires me. It's like your man David Goggins as well. He inspires me a lot. I don't want his life, because he's a drill sergeant, like. Yeah. But I feel like there's been such a gap for young boys to have that role model to look up to, and there needs to be someone in there. And I feel like the reason why he rose to stardom in Andrew Tate, obviously initially, because one, his takes were very controversial, but two, there was such a large gap to fill, and I think if anybody stood in that gap, the people would have taken to them. Mm-hmm. And obviously it got to the stage where he was saying things that were so out of pocket, which I think that just completely tarnished his name. Oh. And it becomes a net negative then in that case.
To me he's creepy.
Yeah.
There's not a nice. I mean, if I was going down the street, and I seen him, I'd go to the other side of the road. I wouldn't go near him, and that's not like me. If I see somebody that's famous at all, I want to be in their face.
Yeah,
to say, hello, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you.
Yeah.
Can you sign my autograph? But no, the likes of that lad. And I feel sorry for him. I'd say, I'm on way over here.